Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a roundup of what I think are the best Criterions to watch during the summer. So let's just get into it. First up, I want to talk about a box set that I got at the beginning of this whole lockdown situation, which is Wes Blank's Always for Pleasure. This is an amazing box set, and honestly it's one of my favorites that I have. Wes Blank is a documentarian from like around the 70s, but what I particularly like about this box set and this collection of his documentaries is the length of the documentaries themselves. They're usually about 30 minutes long, so they're not really a bore, if you will, and a lot of that has to do not only with the time length, but just because of his style. You know, he's very like exciting and energetic and fun, and these are great little travel films in and of themselves. And also, food. There's some great cooking scenes and some great shots of food. This is like a precursor to Anthony Bourdain, if you will. You know, you kind of go into an exotic location, capture the people, the place, but most importantly, the food and the culture that surrounds it. Also, if you're really into the blues, he follows around Lightning Hopkins, which is amazing, and he also follows around Mansell Inscrum. Two great Texas blues musicians. So if you really like blues music, I mean, you got to pick this one up. It's great. Up next, kind of going along the theme of fun and good times, we have Dazed and Confused by Richard Linklater. Now, this is a movie I watch every summer. I have not watched it this summer because I'm waiting to get back to school because one of my friends has never seen this movie. But this is just a great little box set. It's super fun. I love the artwork. If you haven't seen this movie, please watch this movie. It's the greatest hangout movie of all time, as Quentin Tarantino said. But I love the cover because it kind of feels like a yearbook from the 70s, and I can attest to that because I've seen my mom's yearbook, and she actually went to high school at the same time as Richard Linklater. I actually haven't delved into this box set yet, just because, like I said, I'm waiting to get back to my school and watch it with my friend. But I know, like from what I can see from the back here, it's just filled with tons of bonus features and things like that. So hopefully, you know, I'm not giving away too much because I really think this box set is worth it, and I can't wait to dive into it. Going from one Texas filmmaker to another, we're gonna go from Richard Linklater to Wes Anderson. Wow, okay, so I said in an earlier video that this is the only Wes Anderson film I've never seen, and I really, really like this film. I watched it like 3 nights ago. It's kind of fun to watch one of his early films and see kind of what his style used to be like, and I kind of like it more, honestly. I feel like lately he's become too much of a perfectionist, and it's kind of fun to just go back and watch something that's a little sloppy, a little rough around the edges, but still has that classic Wes Anderson look and feel. And I really like the story of this one, but really mainly the environment. This might be one of my favorite films of his in terms of just like the landscape and the environment. A lot of it was shot in Italy, which is beautiful. He's known for doing really interesting set design pieces and things like that, and that's definitely in this film, but there's also really good, you know, natural landscape shots and things like that, whether it's through a window or whether it's in the background. And then we have another Texas filmmaker. I swear I wasn't thinking about that when I did this. I'm just realizing that now. But we have Terrence Malick, The New World. Okay, wow, this film is amazing. I love Terrence Malick. I love The Tree of Life. That is my favorite Terrence Malick film, but I don't know, this one really gives that film a run for its money. I was not expecting to love this film that much, and it was just amazing. And I watched it right before I went off on a trip, and it was the perfect film to watch right before going out on a hike and traveling. It just really kind of engages your mind and gets you thinking about nature, and for me, it's a perfect summer film for that reason. If you haven't gotten into Terrence Malick, if you've never seen a Terrence Malick film, this isn't a bad one to start with, actually, because it is kind of more of a formal movie in the sense of its structure. His other films can be a little dicey for somebody who's just starting out with it, but any film you watch his, I think, go for it. Up next, we have A Brighter Summer Day by Edward Yang. This is a film that I've went to friends and they said they haven't really been able to get into it because it is kind of a slow burn. I know that, but for some reason I just happened to be in the right mindset when I popped this in the DVD player about a year ago, and I loved it. I mean, it's just, I love how slow it is actually. I actually like that about it. I like the pacing. I just really like the way it was shot, honestly. It has an amazing color palette. It's a very subtle color palette. It's lots of greens and yellows, but it's nothing very striking. It's just consistent, and I love it. And it reminds me of, you know, my childhood and being out in fields and things like that. At a certain point while watching this film, I just kind of forget that I'm watching a foreign film. It feels so real, and it feels so close to home in a lot of ways. This movie, because of the way it's shot, it kind of drags things out. It is more like what it is like to grow up, you know. A lot of my memories of childhood are stretched out amongst this like expanse of time, and I can't really think of like one singular defining moment of adolescence, but I can definitely think of many moments, and I can think of all that time, and you know, most of the time of my life feels like it was my childhood, and somehow this movie is able to convey that, in my opinion. You know, there is a lot of you know, kind of turmoil and bad things that happen in this film, but for the most part I really feel like it is kind of a youthful film in a lot of ways. So I definitely recommend this one to watch during the summer, and you know, it's called A Brighter Summer Day, so you can't go wrong with that, and it's a beautiful film. Okay, and the last film I want to recommend for a summer watch is La Cienaga. I watched this film earlier on in the summer, and I felt like it was a good one to watch because while on the surface level it's pretty and there's these nice shots of, you know, summer scenery and whatnot, there's something kind of deeper and sadder going on, and to me that kind of worked well with what I was experiencing during this whole lockdown situation, which is that yes, I've been going out and going on hikes and getting out there with nature, and it's been beautiful and everything, but there's really no getting around the fact that things are not as good as they could be. So I think a film like this that kind of deals with, you know, beauty of the world, but also what's happening underneath on a kind of, you know, human level, is probably right for right now. And this is why it's the last on my recommendation list, because I don't know if it's a film that's that well known. Honestly, I don't know too much about it, but it feels like the filmmaker just made it in their own home with their own family. I know that's probably not the case, but that's at least how it feels, and it's a very intimate film to a degree, but it's a beautiful film. And on that note, I would like to say thank you to everybody who's watched this video and to everybody who's watched my other videos. I've had a super fun time making these, and I'm going to be moving back to school here in a week or so, so things might be put on hold with the channel for about a week or two, but I do have some other content planned, and I'm super excited to get back at it. So yeah, just giving you a heads up that there's going to be about like a 2-week break, but thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.